and welcome back to another episode of The Real Franchise, a podcast that goes where others simply won't. An unfiltered view of franchising, business, mindset, and everything that we stand for when it comes to supporting a community of small business owners. Join me, Rhiannon, the CEO for James Home Services Australia, and Justin, one of our owners, as we unpack it all with no topic off limits. And boy, are we unpacking it today. Justin, we have such a fun episode planned. We are going to blow up 3 of the biggest myths of franchising. Now, before you think, they're just talking about the same old myths everybody talks about. No, I want to clarify. There are 3 things that pretty much everyone looking at a franchise believes, because that's what we've been sold in the marketing for the last 30 years in Australia. And when you really look at the fine print of these 3 things, they are rubbish, total and utter rubbish. So let's get into it. Justin, the first massive furphy in our industry is that a good franchise is one that sends you leads, right? Like all your leads, kick back, do nothing, we'll send you all the leads, guaranteed leads, lots of leads, big leads, all the leads. And this sounds great, right? But why is this the biggest lie of all?
A whole heap of reasons. And I hear it every day. Like we have people inquiring, as you know, to join us every day. And one of the first questions people ask me is, how many leads a day? How many leads are you going to be giving me? What are the guaranteed number of leads? And I must admit, my heart sort of sinks a bit when I hear that, because it's just, if you're chasing a company that's just going to feed you leads, well, firstly, why join a company? You can jump on, there's companies out there that just market and generate leads, you know. What are the quality of those leads? Where are those leads? And believe we generate thousands of leads, and I talk to people. You're not a business owner if you're sitting there just being fed. At the end of the day, I guess is what I'm saying, because I could tell story after story of people who have started a business, got fed leads, and then the company they were with started another business down the road, and then, well, you're right, you've been operating for a while now. We send, this is our policy, we send the leads to the new person. And then they get upset, the person that's been there for a while ring me going, oh, how do you guys operate? Well, obviously we don't do that. But if you're a business owner, you've got to run a business. And a key part of learning how to run a business is learning how to control your income.
Yeah. The crux of it is that the marketing for the last 2-3 decades in this country has been, particularly in our area of franchising, which is service-based businesses, home services businesses, is that a company that sends you all the leads is a good franchise. And the idea of that is, around stable income, build a business fast, security, financial stability, all of that sort of stuff, right? Now, it sounds good because the messaging is made to sound good. It sounds attractive, right? And that's why people inquire. And this is why not everybody, so many of the people that inquire with us, their first question is how many leads, because we're being conditioned through the marketing that's being executed by our industry that that's the measure of a good franchise.
Yes.
And here's the fine print that if somebody else is just sending you your leads, all you're doing is acting as a glorified subcontractor. Yes, now, when you're acting as a glorified subcontractor, you're not in control of your business or your income. They are, right? Yeah. They pull their advertising budget. Your leads are gone, your income's gone. If they change their advertising strategy and the lead volume drops, your income drops. So your business is highly susceptible, growth and plummets, etc., highly susceptible to whatever another company is doing. Now, the opposite to that would be a franchise network that focuses on building its business owners' skills. And why that's important is because if you know how to go out and generate the leads for yourself, then you're not reliant on the network that you're part of. And that should be the recipe for success. That is our recipe for success. Don't get me wrong. We send leads. We send a lot of leads, thousands and thousands and thousands of leads generated every year in our network. We send leads. Don't get me wrong. However, what we do in parallel to running those advertising campaigns for our business owners is we teach them the skills to go and fish for themselves. And we've got episodes on this previously talking about fishing for yourself. But essentially what that gives is the business owner true control, not marketing hype control, not messaging control, not PR control, true control. You want more work? You've got the skills and the knowledge to go and generate more leads that can get you more work. Simple. Yep. That's what the measure of a good franchise network should be.
Yep, absolutely. To hone in on a real life example without one of our competitors as example in the lawn and garden industry, they do a heap of advertising at the start of the season, spring, early spring. And obviously it generates leads for their business owners and those leads get sent out. The reality is, as we know, it's very easy to generate work. Like our business owners can generate lots of work in the spring, summer. The tough time when you really want that expert support from a company in marketing is through the autumn, winter, right? That's when our lawn and garden guys are really struggling to try and maintain cash flow, and we have, as you know, processes and things in place, training in place to make sure that happens for our guys. But in these other companies, well, there's no marketing happening then. And so it just makes the peaks and troughs of income for people that are reliant on that so much more exacerbated.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the skills.
Yeah.
Right? Like I love the term, the glorified subcontractor, because that's what it is. And we just see it all the time in this industry. Getting leads or the other one I get asked is, how many contracts are you going to give me? Well, it's the same sort of thing. You're getting handed contracts. They've done the quote. They're not interested in profitability. They're just interested in securing work, and so the leads or the contracts that you're receiving, you're at the mercy.
Yeah.
You're a glorified subcontractor. You're doing jobs for next to nothing because
you weren't in control of that process. Yeah. And also if you're watching and you're looking at starting a business with a franchise network because you've not done it before, but you're not going to be with a franchise network forever, right? If you're really looking at this strategically, you're going, right, I'm going to do this the first time around with a franchise so I can learn the skills. And then when I move on from that network, I can use those skills in my own business. Be very careful if that's your strategy. Great strategy, by the way. 10 out of 10 on strategy. Well done. Hats off to you. But be looking for a franchise network that is actually going to teach you the skills that you're going to then rely on in whatever's next. And if there's a franchise network and you're inquiring with them and they're like, we're just going to send you all the leads, run. That's not what you need. You need a network who's going to teach you how to generate your own so that you can take those skills into whatever is next for you.
Absolutely. And I'll do a plug on our business because the things we teach you apply to any business. There's a video in this series, an interview I did with Ross and Karen in Brisbane. So Ross is one of our lawn guys. He's used our 8 Steps business, built a very successful lawn and garden business. His wife has just finished recently her counselling qualifications and psychology. She's opened her own practice. Yeah. And she openly shares they've just used the 8 Steps for all the marketing, for the things, those 8 steps she's applied to her counselling business, and bang, I think it's next week they're off to Europe for a 4-week holiday. But
well, there you go. That's an indication of how well it's going.
Exactly. So she has used the system to build a business in a totally different industry, and kudos to her. Like the system works.
Yeah, and it's so nice that the impact we have can be even outside of our network. To be honest, it's set them up Ross
Yeah.
has started his business using the system, but then he's obviously been able to convey to Karen how to use the system also, and she's then translated it to growing her business. I think that's wonderful. I think that's such a great outcome. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's jump into the second biggest furphy that marketing is telling the industry about franchising, and that is that you want to find a franchise network with the biggest, most impressive, most robust income guarantee you possibly can. Like, you want the most amount of money every week for the longest amount of time. This is going to sound completely counterintuitive to most people listening, but this is rubbish. Total rubbish. Justin, tell us why.
Yeah, I think we've got a whole episode just on this topic.
Yeah,
the main reason why I encourage people, an income guarantee is it's an agreement. Go read the agreement and read the small print. So before you sign anything, make sure they give you a copy. That in itself is a challenge, I know, because people have said to me, I don't know, they won't give me one, right? Don't sign anything till you get it, because a good income guarantee, right? And we have, I believe, obviously we're biased, but we have structured our income guarantee, I think, for the business owner's benefit. I described it last night to someone who's joining us in Melbourne. It's a carrot, right? Whether or not we had the income guarantee, the things in that agreement are the things you need to be doing to build a successful business, right? So any income guarantee you're looking at in any industry, is it helping you build your business? Because what you will find in our industry, sadly, a lot of the income guarantees that I've read, yes, they sound great up front. We're going to guarantee $2,500 a week for X number of months or for 12 months or whatever. But to qualify for that, you're having, like, the company is going to give you jobs to do that you have to do. You have to do, and they're quoting the price. You're running around flat out, working hard to qualify to meet the conditions of that guarantee, to do those jobs. And, in some cases, they're free jobs or half-price jobs. So, if someone wanted to mow my yard for free, hey, come and do it anytime. But I tell you what, I'm never going to be a regular customer to do my lawn because I love doing my yard, So most of the customers that you're doing to qualify aren't going to become customers. And so your focus is shifted from actually building your business to qualify for a guarantee. And it doesn't matter who the guarantee is with, at some point in time, that's going to end. So, yes, you survive working your guts out to meet the guarantee. And, yes, they're paying you under the guarantee. And then you come to the end of it and, I haven't got a business, I haven't got an income, and now I haven't got a guarantee to support me.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
Because while you were running around trying to qualify for the guarantee, you were acting as an employee.
Yes.
You were going where they told you. You were doing the jobs. You weren't part of the marketing. You weren't part of the quoting. You weren't part of the sales and negotiation process. And those are all critical skills that you got to learn in order to be a successful business owner. Yeah. And so while you're just simply running around like a headless chook, chasing those jobs that they're sending to you, that in effect is distracting you from building your business.
Exactly.
You're acting as their employee versus building your business. Now, so what does building your business look like? Well, it looks like going out there and following a marketing system. It looks like generating your own leads and knowing how to be responsive to those leads and liaise with those customers in a way that then books in a quote appointment, in a way that then takes you through that quoting process, gets you to the sales and negotiation process to the point where you can close those jobs and do them well and follow up and turn them into regulars and get reviews so that the whole process can start again. Our income guarantee, you qualify for that if you're doing those things.
Yep.
Our income guarantee is built that you will qualify for it so long as you're doing the activities to grow your business.
Yes.
So just be very mindful of reading the small print. If the small print basically indicates that you're running around acting as an employee for that network and it is going to minimize the time that you're spending building your own customer base at a price point that's profitable to you, then that income guarantee is serving them. Yep. It's an ego income guarantee. It makes their figures look good. It makes you feel good for the period of time you're doing that. But then you get to a cliff and you fall off it because you haven't built the skill set required to actually operate a business. Yeah. So that's what I want people to understand about income guarantees, is that they're not all the same. And often what we experience is when people are in our information process, the questions they have for us around income guarantee are how much and how long. And yes, those are important questions, but I really want to encourage anybody listening, the most important question you can ask is, how do I qualify?
Yeah, exactly.
Get them to explain to you in lurid detail how you qualify. And if that detail is that you're distracted from building your own business while you're doing jobs for them, run.
Yep.
It's just such false security. Run. Yep. And unfortunately, for the last 2 to 3 decades in this sector of the franchising space, the marketing messages has been the bigger the number and the longer the term, the better the security. And I argue the absolute opposite. The quicker you're going to fall, I think I'm flipping the bird here. I mean that this is how I feel about income guarantees that aren't designed to actually help someone build a business. Yes. It's not about length and number. It's about making sure you're doing the things that actually grow your business, not theirs.
Yeah. And my firm opinion is, if you're listening to this and you're serious about building a business that you're prepared to put in the effort it takes, if you're joining a good business system, yes, it may have a guarantee, but hey, if it's a really good business system, you should never need the income guarantee because you should be earning far in excess of that, right? And one of the things I'm very proud about, I think it's probably 12 months, maybe more. Like we start people all the time. Like it's probably over 12 months now since we've had to pay anyone on the guarantee.
I honestly have gotten to the point where I don't remember the last time I paid out on income guarantee. Yeah. And that's not because people aren't eligible because it's too hard to qualify. People qualify every week in our network. But when they do that, they're earning good money. They're earning above that guaranteed amount because they've done all the things that are required to grow a business. Yeah.
Exactly. So to me, that means that our income guarantee is working because the guarantee says, hey, we're going to pay you this if you earn less, if you've met those things. If you earn more, well, there's no guarantee to pay because you're earning over and above. And I feel like the system has done its job. And obviously the person's put in the effort and they're enjoying the rewards of that effort.
Exactly. Yep. Setting them up for future success.
Yep. Had a meeting last night with new people looking at joining us. And Luke, as you know, one of our guys in Victoria, was just sharing, he was working with his coach even before he got into training, doing all that, what we call the onboarding stuff. And literally he's in training, booking quote appointments for when he got back, and he did 12 jobs in his first week.
Yeah.
So our income guarantee starts in the third week because we know generally it takes a couple of weeks to get there. But in week 1, I think he was over it.
I reckon he would have been. Yeah. I remember doing his 8 steps training and every now and then his phone would buzz and he'd look at it and he'd go, I think that might be a customer. Do you mind if I take it? And honestly, it's the only time I will allow interruptions in training is if you genuinely think this could be a customer inquiry. Yeah. It was incredible. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. The system works.
It does when you follow it. The third biggest furphy in our industry that the marketing of our industry has sold for the last few decades is that flat fees are fairer. It's such rubbish. I know you're passionate about fees. I'm just going to hand this one over to you and let you take it away.
This one gets me wound up. It does because you sign every franchise in the world, as you know, has a franchise agreement, and every franchise agreement has a set term. When you sign that agreement, you're agreeing to pay those fees for the term of the agreement, unless you sell your business. on a flat fee once you've signed that agreement. Like, the company could be a great company, lovely people in the company. I know many people in other networks, right, that work for those networks. Great people. However, that business model of a flat fee means regardless of how you're performing, you just got to pay. And literally, once you sign up, as a salesperson, once you've got that person to sign on the dotted line, you beauty. For the next X number of years, they got to pay X number of dollars a week or month, however it is. Nothing, there is no onus on them to provide extra support if you need it, extra marketing if you need it. They shake your hand after training, wish you the best genuinely.
Yeah.
But go for it. To me, think of anything else that operates that way. Like, it's just, think of real estate agents. Actually just popped into mind. It's usually a percentage, because you want them, if you're selling a property, you want them to do the best possible effort to get you the highest possible price. And they're going to do that because they're incentivized to do that, right? Because they're going to get a percentage of the sale price. They're not going to gift your property away, because then they're going to earn way less.
Yeah.
Exactly the same in I strongly believe any franchise should be a percentage fee structure. And you look at the big ones, the Maccas of the world, all those ones that come to mind are a percentage fee structure, right? And the incentive then is you're in the boat together. With our fee structure as a percentage, we're only going to be successful if our business owners are successful. If someone's struggling, it's not good for us either. And that's why you and I have really changed our business model. We employ business coaches to support. As long as you're with us in James, you'll have a business coach working with you. In the old days, before we bought, there was no, we take care of pretty much all the paid advertising now. In the old days, and I know because I was a franchisee, it was up to you. And there was no expert support even that could help us. We just had to, and I'll be honest, I've wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars over, a decade plus advertising, and it used to frustrate the living daylights out of me. Just wasn't getting the results. Now our business owners have a great team supporting them. And why do we do that? Because it's a percentage fee structure. If we can help them earn more, hey, great for us as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's very demonstrative to me of a company that views the relationship as a partnership, not just a transaction. But if you're working with a company and they've got a flat fee model, they are more likely, and this is a generalization, I'm not saying everybody operates like this, because there are some absolutely incredible networks out there that do wonderful, wonderful things for their business owners. They're out there. You've just got to find them. But when you're working with a network that's got a flat fee, my concern is always, am I going to actually get the support that's being sold to me? Because a flat fee doesn't really give that network enough income to be able to deliver the support. And if that's their model and they're honest with you about it, then fine, you're informed and you're in a position to decide whether that support's important to you or not. But what a percentage fee or an incentivized fee says to me is that that company has got skin in the game in your business performance. So if you're not doing well, they're going to jump in and they're going to help. If you've got goals and you want to get to them, they're also going to be walking that path with you, because they want you to get to your goals, because if you get to your goals, they're being paid more. And there's no one in business that's doing this for a charity. You're not thinking about starting a business to be a charity. And Justin, you and your business partner aren't in business to be a charity either. There's a commercial reality to business, whether you like it or not, whether it's a franchise network or a building company or a solo cleaning company or a hairdressing firm or an accountancy. Every single business is established to pay the owner. And so when the owner or the owner's team of staff are incentivized to help you do better, then you're more likely to get the support that's being sold to you. I love our model because it says we are in partnership with you. This is not just a transaction. When we have a new business owner come into our network, it's not just excellent, great. So they've signed the agreement. We just ship out all their stuff. We do the training, and then we give them a phone number they can call if they need any help. And that's it for us. We just get our flat fee every week from here on in. For us, it's we are in a partnership together. This business is us helping them, and we grow this together. And I just think that if you're looking for a network that, we hear a lot. People inquire and they've stumbled across us after researching franchising for a while. They've made inquiries with some other brands. Then they find us, they listen to a few of these chats, and they ring you and they go, oh my God, this feels so open and honest and transparent. This is great. This is what I was looking for. And I think that our fee structure being a percentage is all just part of our entire business model being designed in a way that is genuinely to help you succeed. It's very genuinely an attempt to make sure that there is the highest number of success stories in our network that we can that is humanly possible to create. And I think that fee structure says a lot about a network's intention.
Absolutely. And I love that we've taken it one step further. So we only make money if people are successful. Yeah. And the other place a franchise makes money traditionally is when they sell you the franchise. So if you're listening to this and you're doing your research, you'll know it takes a big lump sum of money to buy a franchise anywhere else, and they're going to make a big chunk of profit out of that sale. With us, if you take up a subscription, it's that same philosophy applied yet again. You only pay $1,000. We go and spend, probably over $15,000 to set you up. So we don't make anything up front, and at our subscription, be it whether you take 100 or 125 a week option, that's going to take us years to make that back. So we have doubly a vested interest in your success. We set you up, and then we only earn if you're earning good money. Yeah. It's I love it. I love the transparency and just the ethos behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. And for anybody savvy out there listening going, why on earth would you do that? You've just explained that no business is designed to be a charity, and yet here you are, singing from the rooftops that you can start a business with us for only $100 a week or $125 a week. Why would you do that? Well, here's why. Because for the last 30 years, our industry has been selling these furfies at large to the market. And we firmly believe that franchising is a really powerful business model and an incredible way to start a business. And we also believe that the bar can be raised and that we are part of that raising. And I, not for a second, am I under the impression that franchising doesn't have a smell to it to a lot of people. There's a lot of our industry who have no awareness of what the general public feel and think about franchising. But I'm very aware that some people are highly critical of our industry. And so why do we discuss things so openly? Why is our fee model the way it is? Why is our support model the way it is? Because I'm aware, we are aware of how people feel about franchising and the unease that can exist there. And I want to be part of the raising the bar. I want to be I want us to be a part of changing the narrative around franchising to say this is a really savvy way to start a business if you've never done this before. And I know there can be some unease, but let us just explain this. Let us explain how it really works. Let us explain how you differentiate a good network from one that's perhaps designed for their benefit more than the business owners. If we can be part of that discussion in franchising, that's part of our much bigger picture here.
Yeah. Yes.
I think on that very philosophical note, we leave this episode here, but I hope you've enjoyed us absolutely tearing to pieces 3 things you probably before watching this video believed to be true about our industry. I hope that that's been thought-provoking, and I hope that if you are researching a franchise network, I genuinely hope that that's helped you to see a different perspective And I hope it's formed some questions that you're going to ask the franchisor you're speaking to next. Put them through their paces, because if they don't stack up, don't go with them. There are options out there that do. Make sure you find that franchise network. And I hope that you'll join us soon for another episode of The Real Franchise.